I want you to just imagine something for a second. Imagine you own a physical store.
Okay, a physical store. I'm with you.
Yeah. And you walk in on a Tuesday morning, and it is just packed. I mean, shoulder to shoulder with thousands of people.
Wow, on a Tuesday. That's the dream.
Right. And they were all cheering. They, like, love the lighting. They're taking pictures of your window displays, giving you a thumbs up.
Sounds incredible, honestly.
It does. But then you look over at the cash register, and the cashier is just standing there, staring at the wall.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Not a single person in that massive cheering crowd is actually buying anything.
I mean, that's a vivid image, and honestly, it's a literal nightmare scenario for anyone running a physical shop.
You'd be in a full panic.
Absolutely, because you would assume something is just, fundamentally broken with your business model.
Exactly. But the crazy thing is, that scenario, that cheering crowd of professional window shoppers, that is exactly what most businesses are doing online right now.
Yeah, they really are.
They are paying for a crowd, not a customer. And that's the core issue we're tackling today as we welcome you to the deep dive.
Right, because our mission today is to completely demystify social media return on investment, or ROI.
We want to help you transition your whole strategy, right?
Yeah.
From chasing like superficial online popularity to driving actual cash flow, real tangible business growth.
Which requires a pretty massive shift in how you view your digital presence. I mean, we're moving from a mindset of vanity to a mindset of straight up survival and profitability.
Totally. And to guide this transition, we're unpacking this incredible comprehensive guide today. It's titled Beyond the Like, Measuring Social Media ROI for SMEs.
Yeah, and we should mention this material was authored by the specialist at BTW Media.
Right, which is a highly regarded marketing consultancy agency based in South Africa.
Exactly. And because the source material originates from South Africa, a lot of the specific numerical examples we're going to discuss today use rands and cents.
Yeah, and this is important, the underlying mechanics of digital advertising, they're universal.
Oh, absolutely. The behavioral psychology of these platforms, the mathematical formulas they apply no matter where you're listening from or, what currency your business uses.
So where do we even start with this?
Well, the specialist at BTW Media begins by just directly attacking the root cause of this whole digital failure, the trap of the vanity metric.
The vanity metric.
Yeah, because before we can build a profitable system, we have to understand why the current system is misleading so many new business owners.
So just to define it clearly, vanity metrics are the likes, the comments, the shares, all those little red hearts that pop up on your screen.
Right, and the real danger of those little red hearts is that they create this highly compelling illusion of progress.
Oh, it's so compelling. You log into your business account, you see a notification that 50 people liked your recent post, and your brain just gets this massive dopamine hit.
Boom, validation.
Exactly. You feel so validated, you feel like your marketing is totally working.
But that validation effectively masks a critical lack of real business results. The guide makes this stark reality very clear, especially for South African SMEs who are, dealing with tight operating margins.
1,000 hearts on an Instagram post will not cover your monthly overhead.
Nope. They won't pay your staff. And they definitely won't buy new stock.
It's harsh, but it's true. And what's wild is how the platform's architecture actually conditions business owners into this behavioral trap.
Right. You start a social media page intending to sell a product or a service, but the platform rewards you with immediate notifications for, entertaining content.
So you unconsciously begin to prioritize creating emotional or viral posts.
Yeah, you enter a popularity contest without even realizing it.
And over time, you just completely forget that your actual job is to create content that clearly guides a user toward a specific conversion.
Like filling out a quote or clicking a link or, actually making a purchase.
But wait, hold on. Let me play devil's advocate here for a second.
Okay, go for it.
You can't sell to an empty room, right? Doesn't a business have to cast a wide net and get engagement first before they can ask for a sale?
That's the classic argument.
Right, because conventional marketing wisdom always says that engagement is the top of the funnel. You build the audience, and eventually some of them filter down to the bottom and buy.
Yeah, that is definitely the most common defense of vanity metrics. But it ignores the fundamental economics of paid social media.
How so?
Well, yes, building an audience matters. But if that top-of-funnel content lacks a clear conversion goal, you are essentially burning your marketing budget on the exact wrong people.
Oh, because they're just there for the entertainment.
Exactly. You end up paying to reach these broad audiences who might enjoy your aesthetic or like smile at a meme you posted, but they will never become paying customers because they have absolutely zero purchase intent.
Wow.
If your top of funnel doesn't have a trackable, frictionless path to the bottom of the funnel, it's not a funnel at all.
It's just a bucket with a hole in it.
A very expensive bucket with a hole in it. True success isn't measured in notification badges, it's measured in rands and cents.
Okay, so if likes are just this dangerous illusion of progress, and we need a clear path to the register, how do we actually build that path?
We have to get into the technical setup.
Right, because right now, if a user clicks a link on my Instagram profile and leaves the app to visit my private website, Instagram is suddenly blind to what happens next.
Completely blind. They don't know if that person bought 1,000 rands worth of product or just close the tab immediately.
So we have to stop flying blind. We need to look at the technical setup required to track real conversions, which this BTW Media Guide outlines in serious detail.
Yeah, and the foundation of that setup is moving completely away from the vague concept of engagement. You have to clearly define what a valuable conversion actually looks like for your specific business.
Because it's not a one-size-fits-all thing, right?
Not at all. For a service-based business, a conversion might be lead generation, meaning a user successfully filled out a contact form or, submitted a, quote, request.
Okay, and for an e-commerce brand.
That's direct sales. You're tracking when a user actually completes the checkout process.
Makes sense. What about, like, a local brick-and-mortar shop?
Local businesses might track customer actions, like clicking a button to call the office right from their phone or requesting Google Maps directions to the physical store.
Oh, that's smart. Or it could even be content engagement, like registering for a webinar where you eventually pitch a high-ticket item.
Exactly. But once you've defined that specific action, you need the platforms to actually talk to each other.
And this is where the source material introduces the metapixel.
Yes, the metapixel. The specialist refers to it as an absolutely non-negotiable snippet of code that you have to install on your website.
I know installing code sounds super intimidating to a lot of people.
It does, but honestly, modern website builders have essentially reduced this to just copying and pasting an ID number. It's so easy now.
And the mechanism behind the pixel is profound. It acts like a surveillance bridge between your website and platforms like Facebook or Instagram.
Surveillance bridge is a great way to put it, because when a user visits your website, their browser is carrying cookies and data, right?
Right.
The metapixel reads that data, matches it back to the user's specific social media profile, and logs their behavior.
So without the pixel, Facebook only knows that it sent traffic to a web address. It's just guessing after that.
Exactly. But with the pixel installed, Facebook knows if that specific user actually completed a purchase. It knows if they added an item to their cart and abandoned it, or if they spent like 5 minutes reading a very specific product page.
You actually see who took action, not just who clicked.
Yeah, and the value of that goes way beyond just reporting numbers on a spreadsheet.
Oh, because of retargeting.
Yes. If the pixel knows someone abandoned their cart, you can tell the platform to show that exact person a highly specific ad the very next time they log into Instagram.
Like offering them a 10% discount to come back and finish their purchase.
Exactly. It's incredibly powerful.
Okay, but what about organic traffic? Where you aren't paying for ads, but you still need to know what content is actually driving revenue.
This is where the specialist details the use of UTM parameters.
UTM parameters?
Yeah, they're essentially digital breadcrumbs, customizable tags that you just append to the end of your web links.
Okay, the guide uses this really specific example. It says to add .utm source, Instagram and NetMedium organic to the end of the URL in your social media bio.
Right. And by adding that simple string of text, you are forcing the user's web browser to hand over a specific digital ID card to your Google Analytics dashboard the second they arrive on your website.
Oh, wow. Because without UTM parameters, if I have 3 different posts pointing to my website on the same day, my analytics dashboard just lumps them all together as traffic from Instagram.
Exactly. You have absolutely no idea which post actually inspired the user to click.
It's just a guessing game.
But by customizing the UTM tags for every single link you share, you completely remove the guesswork.
So I can look at my dashboard and see that a specific video tutorial drove 20 visitors and 5 of them converted into paying customers.
Right.
Whereas a graphic I posted drove 50 visitors but 0 conversions.
Exactly. And this level of tracking leads to a massive realization about platform configuration. It completely reframes the way the average user interacts with social media advertising.
Okay, I have to talk about this part because this blew my mind. If you manage a business page on Facebook or Instagram, you are constantly prompted by this little blue button underneath your posts that just says Boost Post.
The infamous Boost Post button.
The platform makes it so incredibly frictionless. You just tap the button, put in a few rands, and select engagement as your objective because, assuming getting people to engage with the post is good for business.
Yeah, well, that blue button is perhaps the most efficient way to drain a small business marketing budget ever invented.
Wait, really? Explain why it's so bad.
Because the algorithmic machine learning models powering these platforms are incredibly sophisticated, right? But they are also incredibly literal.
Literal.
They will deliver exactly what you instruct them to deliver. The platform has profiled every single user based on their historical behavior.
So it knows everything about what we do on the app.
Everything. It knows which users are habitual scrollers who just tap the heart icon on hundreds of posts a day but rarely ever leave the app.
Oh, man.
And it also knows which users rarely tap like but frequently click links and actually make online purchases.
So wait,
Right.
when I choose engagement as my campaign objective,
Yep.
I am literally instructing the AI to go find me likers instead of buyers.
You are actively paying the algorithm to seek out the users who are psychologically inclined to give you a vanity metric.
And actively bypassing the users who have a history of actually spending money. We are paying to be set up for failure.
Exactly. You're funding your own failure. To achieve real business results, you have to bypass that boost button completely.
So what do we use instead?
You use the back-end advertising platforms to choose conversion-focused objectives. You have to explicitly tell the algorithm, optimize for leads or optimize for sales.
And then the machine learning model will just ignore the habitual likers.
Yes, it focuses your budget on users who actually exhibit buyer behavior. Furthermore, you must pair that objective with a clear call to action button like book now or shop now.
You're actively demanding a business result from the viewer rather than just like letting them scroll past.
Exactly. Now we have the underlying mechanics in place.
Right. We have the metapixel tracking behavior. We have UTM tags functioning as digital ID cards. And we're finally instructing the AI to hunt for buyers, not likers.
But here's the next hurdle. When you log into your analytics dashboard, you are just confronted with a sea of data points.
It's overwhelming.
It really is. So we have to know which numbers actually dictate the financial health of the marketing strategy.
The source material filters out all that noise and focuses on moving from simply counting conversions to actually valuing them.
And the undisputed king of these metrics is ROAS, return on ad spend.
ROAS.
Yeah, this metric calculates the gross revenue generated for every currency unit spent on advertising.
So if my dashboard shows a ROAS of 5, that means I'm earning R5 in revenue for every R1 I invest in the campaign.
Exactly. This number serves as your North Star, primarily because it must exceed your operational break-even point for the advertising to actually benefit the business.
Right, because if you spend R1 to make R1, your ROAS is 1, which sounds like you broke even.
But you didn't, because you still have to manufacture the product, ship it, pay your staff. So a ROAS of 1 is actually bleeding money.
Okay, that makes sense. The second critical metric the BTW Media Guide emphasizes is CPA, or cost per acquisition.
Yes, this tells you the exact financial cost required to acquire one new customer or one qualified lead.
And the CPA only makes sense when you weigh it against the average lifetime value of your customer, right?
Absolutely. Think about it, if your CPA is R100, but the customer only ever makes a single R50 purchase, the campaign is a failure. You lost R50.
Right. However, if it costs you R100 to acquire a customer, and they subscribe to a R50 monthly service and stay with your business for 2 years,
Then that R100 CPA represents a phenomenal investment. Understanding that long-term trajectory is vital.
so beyond revenue metrics, the specialist also points out 3 specific engagement metrics that act as like diagnostic tools for your funnel.
Yeah, these are great for troubleshooting. The first is CTR, or click-through rate. This tells you the percentage of people who saw your ad and actually click the link.
So a low CTR indicates a failure at the very top.
Exactly. Your targeting is showing the ad to the wrong demographic, or maybe your visual creative is simply too boring to stop the scroll.
Makes sense. The second diagnostic metric is the conversion rate. So let's say your CTR is exceptionally high, meaning people love the ad and are clicking in droves.
Okay.
But your conversion rate is near 0.
Ah. That specific discrepancy means your ad promised something that your website completely failed to deliver.
So the ad is working perfectly, but your landing page is confusing.
Or the checkout process is broken. Or the pricing is just totally misaligned with the audience's expectations.
And the final diagnostic is cost per link click.
Right. Which just gauges how expensive it is to drive traffic in the first place before the user even has an opportunity to convert.
Okay, pulling all of these individual metrics together into a comprehensive understanding of your profitability requires a structured approach. And the BTW Media Guide actually provides a 3-step framework for calculating true ROI.
Yeah, let's get into the math. Step 1 is calculating your total investment. And honestly, this is where the vast majority of small businesses make a critical accounting error.
I can totally see why. Because it is incredibly easy to just look at the Facebook Ads Manager, see that you spent R1000 on ad distribution, and write that down as your total cost.
But the guide explicitly warns against this. It introduces the concept of the true burden rate.
The burden rate.
Direct ad spend is only one piece of the puzzle. You have to include the hidden costs of content creation.
Like what?
Well, if you hired a freelance videographer, their fee must be included. If you produce the content yourself, you have to assign an hourly rate to your own labor.
Right. If I spent 3 hours scripting and editing a video on a Tuesday night, that time has a financial value.
Exactly. Furthermore, you must factor in the proportional cost of the software tools required to execute the campaign.
So like a monthly Canvas subscription for graphic design.
Yeah, or a platform used to schedule the posts. Ignoring these hidden costs results in a highly inflated fictional ROI.
Okay, so once you have an accurate calculation of your total investment, step 2 is to assign a monetary value to the conversions you generated.
Right. Now, for an e-commerce platform where the conversion is a direct sale, the value is simple. It's just the revenue of that sale.
But for service-based businesses optimizing for lead generation, it's trickier. You have to assign a value based on historical closing rates.
The guide offers a highly practical example for this. Let's say your historical sales data shows that for every 5, quote, requests or leads you receive, your sales team successfully closes 1 deal. Okay? And let's say that deal is worth R2000. To find the value of a single lead, you just divide the R2000 revenue by the 5 leads it took to get there.
So 2,000 divided by 5. That calculation reveals that every single lead generated by your marketing is inherently worth R400 to your pipeline.
Yes, and this fundamentally changes how you view your analytics.
You are no longer looking at a screen thinking, oh, I got 10 leads today. You are looking at the screen knowing you just generated R4000 in pipeline value.
It's a total mindset shift, which seamlessly feeds into step 3 of the framework, the formula.
Give it to us.
You take your revenue from social media, which you calculated in step 2, and subtract your total investment from step 1. You take that resulting number, divide it by the total investment, and multiply by 100 to yield a percentage.
Okay, so a positive percentage means your social media presence is a profitable asset.
And a negative percentage serves as an immediate warning that your strategy requires technical or creative adjustments.
Now, I know hearing terms like machine learning optimization, metapixels, UTM parameters, and burden rates can trigger an immediate sense of information overload.
Oh yeah, it's a lot.
It is tempting to just close the laptop, go back to posting a nice photo and hoping for the best.
Resist that temptation.
To prevent that paralysis, the specialist at BTW Media actually distilled all these concepts into a highly actionable 3-step plan that you can execute this week to start measuring real business impact.
It's so practical. Step 1 of this immediate action plan is to just implement basic conversion tracking.
That's it.
That's it. You do not need to map out complex funnels or generate custom UTM parameters on day 1. Your only priority is to go install the free Metapixel on your website today.
It is the absolute foundation for connecting your social media activity to offline success. Just get the code onto your site so it can begin capturing data and learning about your web traffic.
Exactly. Then, step 2, define and value one key goal.
It's just one.
It's just one. Avoid the temptation to overcomplicate your tracking. Pick a single high-value conversion, like a, quote, request submission or a newsletter sign-up.
And assign a realistic monetary value to it using that historical data formula we just discussed.
Right, because by doing this, you instantly upgrade your mindset from seeking vague digital engagement to tracking a concrete financial metric.
Okay, and step 3.
Step 3 brings it all together. Launch a small conversion campaign.
Allocate a modest, comfortable budget toward an ad campaign that is strictly focused on driving that single conversion goal you just defined.
Actively avoid selecting awareness or engagement objectives.
Yeah.
Just let the campaign run and then analyze the resulting cost per conversion against the monetary value you assigned in step 2.
It is essentially a low-risk, real-world diagnostic test.
Yeah.
If you spend R500 on this small campaign and generate 0 conversions, you haven't failed.
No, you have purchased valuable data.
Right. You now know with absolute certainty that there is a disconnect between your ad creative and your offer. But you only risked R500 to find out, rather than blowing your entire quarterly budget on a campaign optimized for likes.
Stop guessing and start testing. It demands accountability from every single rand you spend on marketing.
Forcing your social media presence to function as a strategic, revenue-driving asset rather than a cash-draining cost center.
Exactly.
As we wrap up this deep dive into the BTW Media Guide, the overarching lesson is clear. Stop measuring activity and start measuring impact.
The cheering crowd of non-buyers might make you feel popular, but they will eventually put you out of business.
So true. Now, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought to take with you into your week.
Let's hear it.
The next time you are scrolling through your own social media feed and you see a sponsored post from a highly successful global brand, I want you to stop scrolling and look closely at it.
Really analyze it.
Try to spot their invisible architecture. Ask yourself, are they just trying to make you smile and hit the like button? Or is every single word in the caption, every visual element in the image, and the specific phrasing of the button meticulously engineered to guide your behavior toward a highly specific, trackable action?
Once you understand the mechanics of conversion tracking, you truly see the matrix of digital advertising.
You will never look at a social media post the same way again. You will see the intent behind every pixel, and more importantly, you will know exactly how to engineer that same intent for your own business.
Absolutely.
Keep learning, keep questioning, and we will catch you on the next deep dive.